In this section, we're going to talk about Google Docs, which is one of the fundamental products of Google Apps for Education, and it's really the word processing section or part of Google Apps for Education, but it does some really special things besides word processing that I'd like to point out. So here I am in my email, and I'm going to go right to my Google Apps grid, and I'm going to open up Docs. I could also get there from Drive. So if I open up Docs, this will just display all of my documents, and it also gives me some different types of templates. But I can go and I can just get a blank one. If I wanted to go and grab something that I've been working on, it will show up in the Docs area, but I can also see it right here where all of my stuff is. So I don't have anything here, so I'm going to say New Doc. So now I get a new document, and you'll notice it looks very similar to most word processing. No, thank you. It looks like most word processing programs that we're familiar with, like Microsoft Office, like Word, or like Apple Pages, whatever. You have all the same stuff. You can change your text size. You can change your text your font, you can change your size, bold, italic, underline, your text color, etc. You can insert a link. Here's your alignment. You can insert numbers and bullets. It's really, really similar to anything you've ever used. So I'm going to go ahead and title this document History Paper. And because this is my title, I want it to be my title up here. So all I have to do is click, and it changes it to the first line. If I had written math project, and I delete this and click it, it'll change it to math project. But this is going to be my history paper. So I'm going to delete this, and there we go. So I'm going to just add some text. This is going to be the greatest history paper of all time. It is about a famous okay. Not really. This paper is about the Civil War. Okay, so I have this document, and maybe what I want is I want the kids to collaborate on this paper. So it could be a group project, or I could use this for pure editing, but there's a lot of different things that I can do in terms of collaboration. And when we think about the Samir model, and right now I'm using this as substitution. I'm asking this student, me, to write a paper about war. And this kid is kind of a smarty pants, writes about Coke versus Pepsi. But really, I'm subbing handwriting, pen and paper, for typing. If I want to move this up the Samir model, the easiest way to do that is to ask the kids to collaborate. So instead of it just being my paper, now I'm going to collaborate with another student. So how do I do that? Well, I'm going to share this. So when I click share, I'm going to enter the email of the person who I want to share it with, and I'm going to give them some permissions. I'm sharing it with me. I'm sharing it with my other account. And I can say that this other Lynn Gershman can edit, can comment, or can view. So if I don't want any changes, but I do want suggestions, I would change that to comment. If I just want them to read it and then talk to me about it, then I can do view. But I'm going to say that this other student is allowed to edit this work. So I'm going to say, here is our history paper intro. Please add your info below. Now, the other thing that I just would like to say, and this is part of my classroom culture, whenever the kids in my classes are making a shareable document, the rule is this: they have to share it with me. So I'm going to add my other, let's pretend this is my teacher account right here. And the idea is that that way I have access to whatever's going on. And that's just the culture that we set up. And the way I set that up was very easy. I told them the rule. If you guys make a shareable document, if there's a collaborative document, I have to be added immediately from the beginning. If I am not, you will receive a 0 on this project. I don't care if there was no, shenanigans. I don't care if there was nothing bad that happened. For our class to be on the up and up, I need to have access to every document that is shared between kids. Done. Okay? So let's just say that that is my classroom culture, and so that just happened. So there are all my accounts. So now I'm going to send this. So it says, are you sharing who are not in your Google Apps organization that this belongs to? I'm going to say yes for the purposes of this. So now I can see that this has been shared with 2 people. If I go to one of my accounts, this is, let's say this is the student account. I have been invited to edit this history paper. Here's my message. Here's our history paper. Please add your info below. So I'm going to open up this document and I'm going to take a look at it and I'm going to do some things to it. So first thing, I'm going to say, wow, I'm going to add a comment. You can see this is my other account, right? This is my account right here. And I'm going to say, this seems extreme. I am editing. So I'm going to go ahead and add. This comment is now connected to this sentence. And I'm going to go ahead and strike through and say I need to undo that. The Civil War was a war that fundamentally changed the United States. Okay, I'm going to just delete this because that's ridiculous. And now I'm going to add some information here that says the main reason was okay. So there we go. So now this has been saved. You'll notice right here as I'm typing, if you focus right here, all changes are saved automatically. So as I keep typing, you can see it is saving. So I never have to remember to save. This is so ingrained in me at this point that I write my papers for grad school in Google Drive, and I just share them with my professors because I just saving is, it's just, you don't even need to think about that anymore. So if I go back to, so I'm going to close this account, and I go back here. Let's go back into my drive, close some stuff here. Okay, I'm going to go back into my drive and I'm going to find my history paper because I want to show you what collaboration really looks like for kids. So I'm back in I'm the first student who originally shared, and now I can see that my friend is going to, I'm going to look at these edits that my friend made, the one that I shared with. So right here, I can see that this has been crossed out and that there was a comment. And I can see that there are some other additions added. As the teacher, I can go in and see who did what by going right to revision history. So I can see that there are 2 Lynn Gershmans. I'm sorry, you have to imagine that they have different last names, that they're different people. But that Lynn Gershman number 1 is, all that is in purple. And Lynn Gershman number 2 is in green. So if I go back to where this paper was originally made, I can see that if I restore this, This is just the very beginning. This is a blank page. But if I go here, I can see who wrote what. So now the kids will know that I can see who did what when it comes time to grading. So now I can add to this, back to my, oops, sorry about that. Let me go back to revision history. Let's grab this version. Okay, and I can go back to my history paper. And I can start adding things to this history paper. So asking kids to collaborate is huge, and it's very easy to do. And I encourage you to try collaborating on a document and making sure that you take a look at this revision history, because it's pretty important. So here's my history paper as it exists right now.